Can you head over and check on a bearer report?
Early Tuesday morning, Smollett says he was approached by two men yelling out racial and homophobic slurs. Investigators say he was attacked. An unknown chemical substance was poured on him. Police adding, at some point, one of them wrapped a rope around the victim's neck. Smollett told police the men yelled, "This is MAGA, Make America Great Again country." The actor took himself to a hospital.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God, stop fucking lying. Hello everyone, welcome to Contemporary Comrades. Today's episode is about a whole bunch of shit. So we're just going to be freestyling, going over a whole bunch of current events. And some of this stuff even goes to even back in the 80s or 90s, whatever. But we'll start it off. I'm Corn. Let's do it off. We got Jaren over here.
Oh, what's up? Big J in the building.
Jaren sounding as enthusiastic as ever, as he always is. Adam.
Hey, y'all.
All righty. Well, let's get
also,
started.
I'm very enthusiastic. All right.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Well, let's go ahead and get this started. We have you guys hear me?
Yeah. Good, bro.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna start with the whole Captain Marvel controversy. Do that.
Oh man, you're going in and out already, bro. But I'll start us off. Yeah, Captain Marvel. So this lady is become more confirmed to be on the side of social justice warrior fandom.
You got to bring up her name first.
Oh, Brie Larson. Yeah. So yeah, she's been saying all kinds of just messed up shit. I've been watching some interviews and a few YouTubers talking about her. She's basically putting down white people, even though she's white, and deterring them from watching her movie, which is very based around feminism, just pushing the agenda down like viewers' throats and eyes, in whatever sense have you. It's become messed up in the fact that comic fans don't want to see this kind of shit. We go there to enjoy superheroes on the big screen, seeing our childhood heroes come to life. And like, I was just fine with watching a movie with a female lead. That's fine. I mean, the character itself, yeah, I don't mind her. I saw her in a few comics. I saw her in a few comic iterations. I've seen her in a few cartoons, and like, I enjoyed her character. Yeah, that's not the problem here. The problem is that this actress just decides that it's all about her. Like, and now she's saying just messed up stuff, putting herself on a pedestal. There was an interview where she is basically wanting publicity so much, she called over a disabled person in a wheelchair to interview her, and then made it very public that, oh, I did this because you're in a wheelchair, and that matters.
Which is fucked up, by the way. Which is super fucked up, by the way.
Matters for my publicity. Yeah, it's very, extremely much so.
Can I just say that that's just like going to a Make-A-Wish Foundation or going to a Special Olympics and saying like, oh, you guys are, I'm only here because you guys are disabled. You know, I'm not really here because you guys are doing extraordinary things. I'm just supporting you guys because you're in a wheelchair or you have no arms or whatever the fuck, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, it's fucked beyond reasoning. And like, the worst part of what she's doing, well, not the worst part, but the dumbest thing what she's doing is she's doing this all before her breakout Marvel movie. And this lady's been to movies. I don't think I've seen a single one with her in it, but she's an actress, you know, quote unquote. So, but doing this before that Marvel money comes in, like, how fucking retarded can you be? Like, it's mind blowing, because as somebody who it's like such a mountainous feat to be in a Marvel movie, to be a star of a Marvel movie or any superhero movie. That stuff is just awesome to me. And like, you see somebody blowing their chance already, but it is probably going to be just fine because she's a woman and she's pushing feminism and down the viewer's throat. And it's wrong. It's the way a lot of media is going these days. That message is being just pushed, and no one really wants it. The ones that enjoy that kind of shit aren't comic book fans. So it's the wrong thing being pushed at the wrong people, which is just going to make the movie less successful.
Yeah, I feel like Wonder Woman's rollout was great. They did it perfectly. Wonder Woman's rollout, they did absolutely perfect. She, you know, they promoted the whole, you know, female lead, the whole feminism thing without trying to shove it down everyone's throat.
Yeah, of course. Well, you know what also comes into that factor is that Wonder Woman is an iconic character, where Captain Marvel is not. Not that many people know who the fuck Captain Marvel is. They'll honestly be thinking about the man Captain Marvel of DC, whose name was then changed to Shazam because Marvel owns the rights to the word Marvel. So it's all a big mess. It's all a big mess, you know. But yeah, like it's already not going to sell as much as Wonder Woman. So the fact that this lady is going out of her way to make people dislike her of her own race, like come on now, like all you're doing is pushing the wrong shit.
I think she's doing exactly what the fuck she's supposed to be doing. She's doing exactly what the fuck she's told.
I don't think so. This lady's thinking with her own brain, at least.
But she's being allowed to, which you can't say for a lot of other people. Also, these Hollywood execs, you know how they're trying to feminize everything, turn everything into a fucking inclusion party, turn everything into, you know, just pervert and reverse the way everything has been since eternity. It seems like is what they're doing now. So why wouldn't they have this chick why wouldn't they have this chick make us think about the movie, and then piss off white dudes?
It does make sense.
And then watch it, and then at the same sentence they'll be like, oh, all these white guys are committing all these mass murders, and
yeah, they'll blame fucking, yeah, they'll just blame white dudes because it's the only race and gender that you can get away with it for, even though it's fucked up because it's still just racism, it's still just sexism.
Exactly.
But it's the one thing that's safe. Like, oh yeah, how can we still be racist and still be sexist? Oh, white men. There you go. You know, that's the one thing that they can still get away with, and it's very fucked up. It's exactly the same problem that you had years ago, where you're racist against colored races. It's stupid. And people get away with it, especially women, and especially just anyone who identifies outside of that straight, you know, mindset. It's baffling, but you guys know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll even hear people say, you know, they're getting what they deserve because since, you know, back since I guess the dawn of slavery, white men they've always had all the privilege. They've always had, you know, been the dominant race, been the number one on sex appeal for all the women and all that kind of shit. I feel like I've heard people say, oh, you know, good, let them, you know, talk racism shit to white men, which that's just as bad as the other way around. Actually, I think that race relations now are worse than like before, than when we were segregated.
Yeah, bro, I agree. That's because they just don't care. They'll say whatever they want because they feel like they can now. And then you've also got, like, I ran into this example, and Corn has too. This isn't related to Brie Larson, but you see like racism in just these weird, ridiculous ways. You see like somebody who is like Hispanic or Puerto Rican saying the N-word. It's like, what? Like, how is that okay?
Yeah.
You're just because you're not white? Like, what the hell? Like, Corn,
that shit happens a lot.
Yeah. What is going on here? Like, what these people?
I mean, look at Fat Joe used to say it. That dude ain't got a speck of black in him.
Who did?
Tekashi 6ix9ine says it. He
Yeah,
ain't black. He ain't even gangster. Yeah. Not only is he not black, he ain't even gangster apparently. So,
okay.
And this nigga got rainbow hair.
So does every YouTuber. Every popular YouTuber's got that dyed hair. But yeah. Well, yeah, like the racism is still there for the world to see. Like it's not any more hidden. They're just using a new agenda, the social justice warrior agenda, to get away with it. And that's what, back to, you know, Brie Larson, that's what she is. She's pushing that SJW agenda.
I told y'all before, I've been saying this forever now. Like, it's to change, and it's not going to change in favor for everyone. It's going to change in favor for these certain groups.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
like you think they're shoving our throats now. Like, dude, I cannot imagine what's going to be happening 3 or 4 years from now.
Well, back to comics for a minute. I feel like Avengers 4 is honestly where it's going to stop for me, because like they're pushing a brand new bad message, and I don't know if you've seen it, Corn. Yeah. They're pushing the phrase "the future is female" for Marvel. Like, come on, like you're gonna push away all these fans and attract barely any new ones, because
No,
the
they're
majority
going to attract new fans. It's just going to be a different type of fan. They're literally. I feel like when I say everything is being reversed, I mean everything is being reversed, dude. Like they to a T. Like they are rewriting male, female. What defines a male and a female, and they're rewriting. Honestly, probably what is like. They're probably going to stop. They're going to It's going to be the point where there's not a male and there's not a female. It's just like you're this type and you're that type. There's going to be no gender identification. It's just everything's just going to be, it's going to be much an androgynous whatevers.
Yep, that would avoid offending anyone probably. I mean, if that's what you're going for, that they just.
I'm thinking. No, yeah, I see what you're saying, but I'm saying like that's for like long term, like very like long term. Talking hundreds of years probably. For something like that to roll out, if not more. But
I mean, I can definitely see it. Nothing surprises me at all anymore. The way what society does in the media, especially, is what they push, and like corruption. We just talked about a few episodes ago. It's right there too. Like this shit's not going away. You can hide it all you want. When you push the wrong message, and obviously they don't care about offending some people. It's just the ones who aren't out on Twitter and social media bitching about everything. They're the ones that don't care about offending. Like they'll put down the morally good person all day, every day, but they wouldn't dream of offending this one sack of shit who will like get online and get something taken down or get a company closed. That's who they're trying to appeal to. We don't want trouble, but we'll offend these fans. Fuck them.
Yeah, like traditional males and niche things that only certain genders were into. That's now going away. Like they're trying to get rid of that completely. Like certain things that a actual man would like and that actual women don't like. They're trying to blur those lines completely.
Yeah,
and that's and this chick that they were talking about, Brie Larson, whatever the hell her name is.
That's it.
That's why.
Exactly.
That's why I said that she's doing that. She's doing exactly what she's told. Exactly what she's supposed to be doing because that's her fucking job.
I guess I can see that.
Well, I mean, I look at it as this: is she doing all this so that when she does have a fuck up, if she ever does have a fuck up, her position is more kind of cushioned or solidified in terms of doing something or saying something bad that'll offend people?
Yeah, good point.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I can get on with that, but I also think that
because I mean, you think about when these celebrities, and I use that word lightly because everybody pretty much is a celebrity now. Anybody can be a fucking celebrity now. But these celebrities, they walk around and they do all this shit. They do all this publicity. I don't know if it's a publicity stunt necessarily. But the shit she's saying, the shit she's doing, the way she's going about things, I feel like when celebrities do that, they probably think in the back of their minds like, oh, this is going to help me out in the long run because if I do fuck up, at least I have fans and people that still support me, a lot of people that still support me, and I can show them that, hey, I'm not this kind of person.
Right.
I can see, yep, I definitely see them doing that, but I also see them as nothing but a tool to push an agenda.
Oh,
in which they do these things because that's the agenda that's being pushed, and by signing that deal, getting that Marvel, that big Marvel movie, that's what you got to do. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and this happens to be the first female-led movie Marvel's ever done, which is honestly dumb because they could have done Black Widow years ago. They could have done Black Widow so many years ago, but no, this is the one they decided to do. And I think it's because Scarlett Johansson's a better person and didn't want to push this feminist shit. So that's probably what it ended up being a lot of too. Like they want the face to also represent and believe what they want to push.
Yeah, and her first name is spelled like cheese. So obviously she's gonna be stanky.
Very nice, very nice. That's that quality. That's that G-rated humor the viewers come to Contemporary Comrades for. The dad jokes and the clean jokes. I said jokes twice. Oh. Yeah.
Well, let's stay on Marvel. Let's stay on Marvel for a minute.
All right.
And
go about that.
go to Don Cheadle,
Jared
aka War Machine. So, Jan, what was it that you sent us yesterday?
Peace machine.
All right. So there's a particular YouTuber that I'm subscribed
Trans
to.
machine.
Yeah. There's a particular YouTuber that I'm subscribed to, and he goes into some esoteric knowledge, and he's got a lot of knowledge on that front. He also sees through this Hollywood shit. And he was an A&R in the industry. So I sent them the video in our one of our private chats of Don Cheadle on Saturday Night Live wearing a shirt that says "Save trans kids" or "Protect trans kids."
Yeah.
This ain't Hotel Rwanda Don Cheadle.
No.
All right. This is a whole different beast here. So and I looked up a little bit about it, and apparently he is all right. So he wore the shirt when he stuck to his script when he was wearing the shirt, but he put his hands behind his back so everybody could read the T-shirt.
Right. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
There's a couple things I feel like we need to define. First off, what the fuck is a trans kid?
Yeah.
How could a kid ever be trans?
Because
how are we gonna save them?
And how are we gonna save them?
for real, well, you can't save something you create. You make that is chosen to exist by others. You can't save that.
Save trans.
Or like
kids.
make trans kids should be the shirt.
That's like creating a robot, creating a whole world of robots, and saying, "Oh, we gotta save the robots now." Like,
Save
what?
Androids. Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Yeah. It's
But that Save Trans Kids T-shirt has now given, I guess, trans adults. I guess they're different. They probably are, by their own definition.
All right.
Trans
So
adults. Oh, go ahead.
Well, let's start at step one. What is a trans kid? What's a trans kid?
That apparently is a kid who, my understanding of kids are miniature humans that can't make their own decisions, right?
yeah.
That's basically what a kid is.
A kid, yes.
And we have a trans, which is something which I guess is a human that has changed their gender via drugs and surgeries to become another gender. Is that correct?
More
Yes.
or less.
I mean, I don't really don't know. I'm just.
Well, there's a lot to it. I've seen someone go into
Is
this
there?
process.
I mean, hell. All right. Just for the sake of the viewers, give me one moment. I'm gonna look up what a definition of a transsexual is.
Yeah. All right, Jaron. Well, basically, I feel like once you get to I guess adulthood, you're liable to do whatever you want with your body, sure.
Yeah.
But pushing that on a child, like, come on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right, because with this whole transgender thing, me personally, I don't care what you are. I don't care what your preference is, what you are, what you do with your body, what you want to do. Stop shoving it down our throats.
Thank you.
And
That's
like,
it.
you don't
That's it.
especially don't force it down a kid's throat. Like, honestly, it sickens me when you see children being corrupted by just like filth and like being forced into things that just because their parents are insane. You know, like it really just like, you remember way back when where there was that news episode or something about that baby that was just named Storm and they wouldn't give it a gender. They wouldn't like admit its gender. Remember that?
Yeah, I didn't.
Like this kid is Storm and that's it. And like they just got so much hate, and rightfully so, because you're taking away a baby's life. Like what? Like, come on.
Yeah. So I have the Medical Daily definition of transgender, which is apparently different than transsexual. But we're not going to get complicated. Transgender is a term for people whose identity, expression, behavior, or general sense of self does not conform to what is usually associated with the sex they were born in the place they were born.
Okay.
And they say that sex is a matter of the body while gender occurs in the mind.
I can agree with that. The way others go about talking about it. Yeah.
Okay, so now that we have a child and a transgender defined, I don't see how a child can make this sort of, conscious decision. It would have to be forced on. It would have to be literally, like you were saying, forced onto them. So how can you save a transgender child when there should be no such thing as a transgender child? That should be. I know what he did. he wore the Save Transgender Children T-shirt because there's fucking horrible parents out here who transgender their kids before their kids even know what the hell what a male or a female even is.
What they're even trying to do.
Maybe he's trying to save us from the bad parents. And that's sarcasm, by the way. That's not what it meant. He was making political statements about Trump and shit.
I was about to back Don Cheadle up for a minute. I was like, oh, that's what he meant.
That was pure sarcasm. Yeah, no, that's not what he meant. He was making political statements the entire SNL show, apparently. And that was just one of the many. But that's how I'm gonna take that shirt as. He's saving trans kids from the horrible parents who then create trans kids, because a kid should not be. Wait, what are you saying?
Question.
All right, what's up?
Question. So parents nowadays, like our generation that's raising children, right? We want to say we don't want to force religion on them. Correct.
Okay.
Well, I guess the new generation,
Yeah.
So like, why don't you take your kids to church? Well, because I don't want to force religion on my child. I want my child to choose when they get older to choose their own religion. So if they want to have a religion. So before your child can even talk, even if they can talk, let's say you got like a 9-year-old, right? You got a 9-year-old. They're still learning in life, whatever. They're in elementary school, whatever, blah, 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 whatever. And now they're playing with dolls and you want to make them transgender. But they say, hey, mommy, I feel like I'm a girl. You can't man up and say, hey, like, or woman up and say, hey, you're a boy.
Yeah. Some won't. Yeah, some will be all for that shit. And maybe just the kid's having just a little bit of a learning experience and doesn't really understand what's different. I think every kid might go through that at one point. That's just learning and growing up, like.
Yeah, or a kid could just be experiencing a feminine emotion, which all people experience, and he's interpreting that as, oh, I kind of feel like a girl, and in this particular moment, that is emotional. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the cognitive, ability to say, okay, this is a feminine moment, but as a little, as a man, I'm a masculine person, so that I can take this feminine moment as a feminine moment. And not all of a sudden be like, okay, well now, I'm a girl now. You know what I'm saying? Like a kid, there's no way in hell a kid can make that decision. People who are able to drink can't even make those decisions.
Yeah, I find it baffling, hypocritical for people. I'm not saying all of them are saying that they don't want to force religion on them, but there's a lot of people in our generation and a generation before us that are saying, oh, we don't want to force religion on our kids, but yet we'll force, an actual surgery on a kid, or stop them from growing physically, mentally, whatever.
Right.
Like, all because of this agenda. And it's like, okay, you're fucking these kids up. Like, we're fucking these kids up.
If you interfere before they're old enough to decide for themselves, you are fucking them up. Yeah. Like, that's just...
Or I see what you're saying when you say interfere, but at the same time, you need to guide your children. They need to have some foundation, but don't make the foundation a misguided foundation.
Yeah.
Don't make a foundation based off of some arbitrary feeling that some adult had that you think you should put on your 5-year-old kid.
It's lazy.
It's lazy. Even fucking piss standing up yet. You know what I'm saying?
It's lazy parenting. Because again, we touched on this before, where parents, they want to be more friends with their kids than they do. You could be a friend and still be a parent. Be a parent first, and then be a friend. Don't always be a friend of your kid and say, "Oh, you decide," or we'll decide your gender and we'll let you decide everything else. Like, no, dude, that's not how this works.
No,
that's not how this works. And then on top, now, it's not even 6 months. 2019 is not even. We're not even 3 months into 2019, and already we're starting to see celebrities, people with pull, people with influence, wearing shirts like this.
Yeah.
On Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. It's interesting times we're living in, fellas. To say the least.
Well, with every new year, it gets pushed a little harder, man.
Yeah.
And some people will just will just fight it to death to make those like everyone else understand it when not everyone is ever going to understand it. Like, you can be open-minded. Like, I don't want to toot my own flute, but I consider myself open-minded. Some people aren't, dude. Some people will be ignorant their whole lives and not care about it at all, because that's just the way they grew up. That's the way they were raised. That's the way they've seen the world. You can't teach them anything, So I don't think they should.
Sure.
Well, I don't think there's not anything I can say about it at this point to make it stop, because it isn't going to. This is what we talked about in the corruption episode, that humanity is getting warred against each other for the wrong shit.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like you want to be like Craig Robinson or one of the other guys like John Cusack or somebody and just get in a hot tub, pour some energy drink in it, and just go back in time? Back when things were easier. Back when things were, I don't want to say simple, because people use that a lot now. Oh, times were much more simpler. A lot of fucking people say that, including racists. So I don't want to use that. But like, just go back in time to where like it was just, you didn't have to deal with all this hoopla. Like,
yeah, it'd be nice every now and again, but I hate. I mean, as much as I like the past, I'm okay with the past being the past. But I also have we also have the excuse me. We also have the ability to change the future.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like we're going to be able to at this point in time.
We'll change it. We'll change it. Just not the way we're meant to.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, before we get to our next topic,
not the optimal way.
Time's not stopping.
Yeah.
You gotta adapt and live with it, man.
Absolutely. Before we get to our next topic, I do want to stop and acknowledge our sponsor for this episode of Contemporary Commerce. I want to give a shout out to the Valencia East College Campus Pizza Hut. Go there and get 6 wings for $7.50. 6 tiny ass.
What a deal!
You ever go to school and you get hungry and you want to munch on something and you're like, man, I just want something in my stomach, but I still want my stomach growling in the middle of next class. Just
a little pick.
Yeah, just enough food to get you just a small little fart. Well, go say no more, fam. Go to Valencia East College campus and go to Pizza Hut and pay almost $8, $8 simple dollars of your hard-earned money for 6 small, tiny wings. 6 wings that probably wouldn't even fit on your pinky. No. Go ahead, go to Valencia East College now, and they're our sponsors, and tell them that you want 10 cents off of your $8 6 tiny wings. If you tell them that you are a member of the Contemporary Comrades, just use the password Comrades.
Thank you for that,
man.
Thank you for that commercial.
I went today and I tried it out, and oh my gosh, dude, I was so hungry, and I paid $8, and I was like, oh man, actually I paid $7.40 because I got a 10-cent code on it, and I got the wings, and I was like, oh man, I'm so hungry. I opened up the box, and there's 6 small, tiny, flat wings, and man, my stomach was growling in Spanish class. But my 3-hour class, I was like an hour in that class, and my stomach started growling. I was like, hey man, this is the real deal.
Yeah, and if that's not the most optimal value for dollar, I don't know what is. I mean, he overpaid, he left hungry, and he got some small ass wings. Like, that is a deal.
Dude,
all right. So we have to really thank our sponsor on that.
You cannot top that.
Absolutely. Now, I do want to touch on our next topic. This is somewhat of a clusterfuck, might we say. Jussie Smollett, actor, singer.
Oh my goodness.
Jerry, you want to start off the story?
Yeah, I didn't follow this one, so y'all go ahead and teach me something.
Sure, man. So, could you remind me what show he plays on? Isn't it the one with it?
No, it's on Terrence on Fox.
Empire, yeah. Empire star Jussie Smollett. First off, his name set him up for failure. Anyway,
come on, that's fucked up.
Yeah,
like, people can't help you.
The you fucked it all up.
Yeah. So this is just off the top of the head, just from what I've heard. He apparently was in Chicago left his hotel, it was something like 2 a.m. to go to Subway. Or keep in mind, this is a gay black actor, and this matters for this topic. So apparently he goes to Subway at 2 a.m. for a footlong, and gets jumped, gets a noose put around his neck, and a white substance sprayed on his face. This I shit you not, by two other African American men. And after this happens, he walks back in his hotel, noose still around his neck, eating his sub on the way up to his room. Passes the front desk, nobody says anything. He claims yes. Yeah.
And he also claimed that they were wearing red MAGA hats.
Yes, he claimed they were wearing red MAGA hats as well.
And that they threatened him.
Obviously, they threatened him with violence.
Yeah.
Now, during this investigation process, Chicago PD asked for his phone, which he then declined to give them, to prove that this was an innocent act. Right. Fast forward a week later or so, it comes out that one Jussie Smollett paid two Jamaican actors two African actors to basically set this shit up.
And he's following one of them on Twitter.
And he's friends with both of them.
I see. And what is the point of all this?
To claim victimization and racism for being gay and black when he set the whole shit up. What else why the fuck else would he do it?
And a week later, he went to a concert and got on the mic and said he's the gay Tupac.
Wow, man. I believe it. Jeez Louise.
This is ridiculous.
I think he should go to jail for...
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. He should go to fucking jail.
Because he doesn't know he does not know the effect he did on when that shit really happens to people. And Fox, and nobody's gonna take that shit serious, man.
No.
Nobody's gonna take that shit
For
serious.
making false allegations like that, you can get jail time.
And what's funny is that this is the first time Donald Trump came out and apologized on his behalf, like showed sympathy towards this guy. And the one time the president does that,
it was bullshit.
Which to me doesn't really mean anything, but to people in general, for him to come out and actually acknowledge this and it come out and be bullshit.
Yeah.
Dude, you fucked it up for all of us. Because when something really happens to one of us, whether you're black, Hispanic, Latino, whatever, it's not going to mean shit.
Nope.
It's not.
Nope. Because a famous actor, somebody who all these people look up to, had this horrible thing happen to him by these Trump supporters. Right. Now come to find out he staged the whole thing.
We cry wolf.
Literally, yes.
Yeah. You know what happened to Boy Who Cried Wolf. So we don't have to go there.
Well, that's a really good spot for me to bring up my little topic that I did some research on. So we all grew up watching anime. Dragon Ball Z was the big one for me. Then I got into Naruto and et cetera, et cetera. So one of the voice actors, I was watching videos on this from pretty much the same source that I got Brie Larson stuff. Yellow Flash, great YouTuber. He talked about this actor Vic Megayana. He's got a pretty weird last name. He played a few characters on DBZ and other animes. I think he played the main character on Full Metal Alchemist, actually, which I didn't watch that one. But so he got under fire recently after the success of the new Dragon Ball Super movie. What a surprise! For sexual allegations. Apparently, he got too huggy with fans, and he also refused to sign some gay fan art of one of his characters with making out with Goku. He played the character Broly, Jaren. I don't know if you remember him from the movies. Yeah. So something like that. He didn't sign it, and then I think that person started posting false things about him on Twitter, and eventually all these people come forward, and I don't know, man. I mean, it's one of those things where maybe someone was offended by the way he like hugged them or something like that. But then one of the main actresses from the show now is out here accusing him of the same shit after plenty of pictures of them together, talking about how much they like each other, talking about, you know, friends, dear friends, all this stuff. And she got roasted alive on Twitter because after people were calling her out on bullshit, they were like, she starts saying, I'm going to contact the authorities and law enforcement. I will not be harassed. And like people were just ripping into her for that too. So it's crazy because this guy got fired for that. He lost his job for allegations, and like no one can really tell the truth, tell if it really happened. But it doesn't matter because you know what? He's a man, and she's a woman, and that's really what it comes down to, man. It doesn't matter if this guy's innocent or not. I just noticed so much of it. Just it's blatant right in your face, but there you go. Like we just talked about it. It just doesn't matter. It's really hard to accept that because then you got people coming forward like the other voice actors that I grew up with. A lot of them are just talking just mad shit, and it's kind of like a click moment where I'm like, wow, I guess some of these people that I considered like, you know, childhood heroes, even though they're just like fictional characters, they're actual real people, and some of these people might be assholes. So it's this, it all kind of blended together with the whole shit. With you talked about Don Cheadle, and we see another character for Captain Marvel. You know, all these people that are supposed to be like, you know, otherworldly forces that distract us from our lives. You know, like that's the point of fiction. That's the point of, you know, storytelling. But when you start finding out these people aren't really that great, I mean, that's my opinion, of course. But you just start finding out the way they really are and what they're willing to do to screw others over. It you know, it fucks my head. I'm sure it fucks a lot of fans' heads.
With this whole thing, was he actually inappropriately touching anyone?
There were people saying this and that, but there were some very cruel comments on there as well as women where this girl was straight up lying and saying things like she wants him dead and shit like that. And there were no real pictures of these acts. And might I add, Yellow Flash also showed a full Facebook group who were talking about doctoring photos in Photoshop to make him look worse. And he like went into detail about these people, their names too. And it's crazy because like, despite all that evidence, this dude still got fired and they will not rehire him. It's like, what the hell? But,
we see this whole cancellation thing happening very fast. And it's been happening for over a year now. Like, I mean, look at Danny Masterson. I know you guys don't know who that is, but he played.
I do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he's from that 70s show.
70s show. Yeah, and the Rant, right?
And,
the Rant.
Yeah. He got fired from the Ranch, which I love that show. He got fired from the Ranch because he allegedly sexually assaulted one or raped someone or something like that, and they never went forward with any kind of nothing happened in court, nothing like that. At least not that I've heard of. He's just living his life now, but without the show. And we've seen this happen. We've seen this happen on numerous occasions where people are getting canceled, people are getting fired. WWE, Enzo Amore, which I feel like Enzo Amore would have got fired. I just felt like they just needed a reason to fire that guy. But he got accused of sexual assault, and then the chick, she kept making all these videos, and then she had no evidence at all. And then she ended up deleting her Instagram and Twitter out of nowhere.
They delete it when they get scared about stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Because they know they're bullshit.
But here's the thing: these people are not getting their jobs back.
I know.
Those who get fucked over are fucked for life.
Not on one occasion. Not one occasion have we seen anybody get their job back from this.
They
from being
literally
from something.
Yeah, they're literally wrecking men's lives over lies.
Because
nothing.
Well, hold on. So I feel like a lot of these people do this kind of stuff strictly based on them being jealous of their success, and maybe they don't like that person. I mean, I'm not saying everyone who's been like accused of this kind of stuff is innocent. So I don't know anything about what Danny Masterson. I know nothing about him except for one show, but I don't know nothing about this Vic guy either. But just judging by the way that they respond to it, the way this Vic guy responded to how he was being treated, he literally came forward on his account and said, you know, don't push hate, don't do this kind of stuff, don't harass those who are saying bad things. That's not what I want. And you compare that to the ones doing the accusing, talking shit, insulting people Like, who are you really gonna believe? Who like, come on. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
I find this really baffling, man. Like, again, like this is ridiculous how all this shit is happening. Like, you're getting accused. You can be accused of anything. And there was a time where you needed evidence. In court, you need evidence.
Yeah.
But when it comes to a job, you don't need evidence. Anybody can say anything about you. If you piss off the wrong person, you can't say shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do shit. Like, tough luck. You're out of a job.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. And good luck getting another one. But the thing is, like, all these, all these law-breaking things that these people are saying that these men are doing to them, nothing's going to court. Half of them that are going to court are getting thrown out because it's bullshit. Maybe even more than half. Who's actually been charged with sexual assault, rape, all that shit, other than Bill Cosby?
Well, I don't keep up with it. So
Kevin Spacey, I think.
Did he get actually charged and is going to serve jail time?
I think he actually did it though.
Yeah, but
I
you think he did it? Has he been charged and is he serving jail time?
I don't know.
Because to my knowledge, Bill Cosby is the only one out of all these fucking allegations.
I think
That's all I'm saying.
I think Weinstein's is going to court though.
I thought his got thrown out.
Did it?
I'm pretty sure his got thrown out. We could look it up real quick, but I almost think
Weinstein is the only person I heard about anything court-wise. Even so, like I mean, think about this, dude. This is why people don't want to do meet and greets. This is exactly why people don't want to do meet and greets.
Absolutely.
Exactly why people don't want to go to these smaller cons. If not,
they don't get screwed over for life.
This is why rock bands only do like a certain amount of people for meet and greets and all this other stuff where you can't even get close to them anymore. This is why. No. This is why. This is exactly.
Here's
people. I fully understand Brock Lesnar now.
So here we go. Let me interject 1 second. Sorry, just to follow up on the Weinstein. On October 11th, 2018, a New York judge dismissed one of the sex assault charges against Weinstein. He was released on $1 million bail, which is less than people get for drugs, mind you. Released on $1 million bail and has to is on house arrest wearing an ankle monitor right now.
Oh wow!
So at least he's on house arrest.
Yeah. So there's Weinstein and Bill Cosby. Out of all these hundreds and hundreds of sexual allegations that we're hearing about, and these women were so damaged, and these men were such pieces of shit and assholes, and they lose their jobs, and it doesn't even get taken to court.
Because
Chris Brown, yeah. Look what happened. Just happened to Chris Brown overseas. The chick tried to say he raped her, came out, she lied, and he's suing her. I would have sued her ass too.
Right, rightfully so. These people need to go to jail. If you accuse somebody of something they didn't do, and you know they did not do it, it's not like you had sex with them and you blacked out and you're like, oh, what happened? No, you didn't get the attention you wanted. You didn't get the money you wanted. You didn't get the relationship you wanted. So now you want to go ahead and put them on blast.
And they want the stars' money. Why do you think they're going after these successful people, man? If any of us ever get successful to the point where we're wide known names, somebody might come after us too. You're not safe. Because you deal with someone like I'm not like those who are falsely accusing these stars. I'm not talking about the ones who actually were harassed. The ones who are lying, you've got to be a special type of evil to do that, man. You've got to be twisted. You got to be greedy. You got to be jealous. You got to be crazy. You have to be all these things and more and less to go after a star who earned their success. Like, what are you fucking doing?
Yep. And like it's ridiculous. Like this whole thing, and I kind of saw it coming anyways. When I found out, as I got older, I started finding out how single mothers are abusing the child support system. How the court lets them abuse the child support system. So
I have a personal story about that, but I can't really discuss it on this podcast.
So once I me too, by the way. But once that happens, like you can't, and men do it too. Like it's ridiculous how things are passed in court that we don't even know of because we're focusing on all this other bullshit. And then shit like this happens, this whole movement, this whole Me Too movement, this should be used for good stuff. The Me Too movement could have been used for actual good stuff. Instead, it's put on this like on the wrong pedestal.
Yeah.
Where people are showing off like, oh yeah, this happened to me. Oh, I'm a victim now because he slept with me 4 years to 40 years ago, and he didn't marry me, or I didn't get as much money as I wanted, or nothing like that. I didn't get anything out of it except whatever. And then now you're pissed off because he's going to do his thing. He's over here being successful. Because now, like we said before, you cannot live. And not saying everything was right in the rock star, quote unquote, rock star lifestyle. But in 2019, in 2017, you couldn't even live the rock star lifestyle anymore.
That's true.
You can't.
Not with social media being such a big part of everybody's lives, man.
No,
I mean, not just that, but just like the social climate in general.
Yeah.
Like masculinity is under full slaughter right now, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know what's funny is we joke about the toxic masculinity name all the time, but they made that into a thing where toxic masculinity,
quote unquote.
You should not put masculinity with the word toxic.
No.
That's what men were meant to be, is masculine.
Exactly.
Not anymore.
I mean, not even being. Yeah.
You can say goodbye.
You're breaking up, bro.
I said you can say goodbye to masculinity with this generation coming up.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Toast, man. Toast. True masculinity. I mean, how do these people think we got to where we are? How do people think the world got to the way it is? Let's be honest. It was men. Not saying women didn't have a part. Women had a hell of a part. They still do when they played their actual part.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
women
not saying
trying to be men and trying to denounce men. Women trying to be women and men, and everything, and God and Jesus at the same time.
And judge and juror.
And judge and juror and executioner.
Well, the thing is, I don't think everybody should be exactly the same. Like, I know women have tomboyish hobbies, and some guys have feminine hobbies, and certain things about them. But you shouldn't go against nature completely. Here's an example of that. So, like, the type of job I have, it's very physically labor inducing. And whenever they've hired women in my department, they never last. It's just the type of job that you cannot do if you're not strong enough and not physically capable enough. That's why it's only guys in this department. And that's just a small example of something that may appear sexist to the naked eye of someone looking in, but it's honestly just a business, a business ploy. It's just something has to happen in order for this certain thing to keep working.
It's not a business ploy. It's the natural order of what men do. Men are laborers.
Yeah,
women labor too, but in a different way. I'm not saying women are laborers. This is the shit that gets people fucked up. It's like you say a man's a laborer and a woman's not. Then people get offended because they say, well, women labor all the time. They labor in their space. Men labor in men's space.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The labor is equivalent to the person. It's equivalent to the gender, the sex, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't even know the fucking difference anymore. The shit's so blurred. I don't know the fucking difference anymore.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But people get the terms fucked up, and then that's how you get all these offended doodads running around. But
offended folk.
Yeah, offended folk, whatever. But yeah, man, it's crazy out here. What were you saying, Corn? You about to say something? I think I interrupted you.
Oh no! I was just basically what you just said, where like you can't, like we've said, I believe we all said this before, probably on here too, where you can do a woman. There are some women that can do everything, but you're not supposed to do everything.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
That's why a man is there.
Yeah.
Whether you believe God created the earth, or whether you believe we came out of a fucking atom, or whatever the fuck people think. Yeah. Like, that's why a man is here. Like, the idea of a man has not changed no matter what you believe in.
Exactly.
Like, the idea of, there's a reason why there are men on this earth. There's a reason why women are on this earth.
And when that balance gets interrupted, and then one of them falls off, or the other one falls off, that's it, man. We can't become too masculine or too feminine because it don't work.
Mm-hmm. No, and you keep trying to change natural order things. That's why everybody's miserable nowadays, man. That's why back in like the 60s and 70s, everybody was way happier. There's way less depression. Yep. I mean, come on now.
That's like a woman. You're sitting there eating, food with your woman, and she wants some of your fries, and that's and you like, oh, I want some of your burger. And you got this whole clusterfuck.
What? That's a very specific and simple thing, but I guess
I know. It's a joke, but
I feel you.
Yeah, well, speaking of women, I have a question.
Oh hell!
All right. All right. So you're on a date, right? You might have been seeing this chick for a while. It might even be the first date. Who gives a shit? But you go back to her place, right? You guys getting all hot and heavy.
On the first date?
It doesn't matter whether it's the first date or not.
But
matter.
Okay.
This is the first time you're at a crib, though. Right?
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
You get hot and heavy in the bedroom. Are you judging?
Yes.
If she had.
Oh my gosh.
Aren't you judging? No. Are you
You're
judging?
saying that?
Are you judging if she has a value pack of condoms in her dresser when she pulls out a big ass box of condoms? You guys
I may have forgotten some.
Are you walking out, or are you feeling some type of way, or
No.
are you cool with it, or what?
I'm cool with it.
Like the pack isn't just open. The packet has already been opened.
No. Well, you're already there, dude.
I'm saying, all right, so
you're already there.
I'm only asking because it's happened to me before, and me personally, I felt some kind of way. I was like, whoa.
All right, here's my thing, though. I mean,
Are you right to judge or not?
You can judge it in your head, and maybe after you leave. But when you're already there and you're already getting hot, just go ahead and do it. Shit.
I just want to say, first off, as a man, I'm not using a chick's condoms. I don't care how many she got. I don't care if she busts the box open herself. I'm not using her condoms. Because you never know what these chicks will do with a fucking condom.
I never thought
They
of
might
that.
cut holes in them. Yeah, that's true.
Second off, I'm using my own fucking condom, first off, so I don't care if she got a 100-pack. Second off, it's 2019. You can't expect a chick to not be with multiple people at the same time, or at least be actively fucking.
Yeah.
So for that reason, and those two reasons alone, I'm not going to judge because I already know in advance what type of how these chicks roll. The majority of the time. So I'm probably going to stay and smash, honestly. Already knowing what I'm getting myself into.
He ain't talking
Because when it happened to me, this is back in 2015. But when this happened to me, I was like, if I felt some kind of way, because it was very misleading. Because I didn't think she was it's not a bad thing. At the time, I thought it was a bad thing, but I was.
Hey, at least she's using condoms, man. It could be worse.
I judged. I felt some kind of way. I almost left. I was like, I was already naked, so I was like, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Almost left.
Yeah.
Almost left. So there you go. So you didn't feel that many ways.
You're having sex with other people than me? I'm out.
Yeah.
No, ain't nobody saying that shit.
You can get up, redress with a big frown on your face, and march out.
Oh wait, I forgot my clothes.
Right.
I'm the only man on this earth. Shit like that. Come on.
I mean, I think it's a good. It's a good thing for chicks to have their own condoms. I understand that. I guess people have sex is what we do. So we have a lot of sex. So
I never thought of it that way. To not use a woman's condom, because I've done that before. I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, man.
I think that's a good point, Jaron. To prepare for the worst in that regard, because you never know.
Yeah, man. Because I know I'm not gonna poke no holes in my condom. I know my condoms ain't expired. I know they're ones that I like.
Right.
That's all I need.
Absolutely.
That's all I need.
Yeah, I should probably start using those. So Adam, what's your topic? Don't you have a paranormal topic?
Oh, if you want to get into that now, we can. Yeah. I was gonna cover this kind of in deep detail, but
oh wait, before we get into your topic, we forgot to talk about Liam Neeson.
oh yeah.
So yeah, apparently Liam Neeson, in reaction to somebody he knows getting raped, saying he wanted to kill a black man. I guess supposedly a black man raped whoever he knew, and because of that he wanted to kill a black man, as in a general. What's that?
Walked around with a crowbar.
Yeah, really. Yeah, walked around with a crowbar saying he wanted to kill a black man. You know, I think people jump in the race too quickly on a lot of this shit.
Yes.
Like, the dude was black. Okay. Why is it that, you know, you want to go kill? All right, something happens to me. Say somebody breaks in my house, and they're white. So now I'm gonna walk around with a crowbar saying I want to kill white people because they broke into my house.
Yeah.
Like that to me, like the first thing that smacks people in the face, race. It's just race.
Yeah.
Like or gender, you know, so you know all this kind of arbitrary shit that doesn't mean shit.
Money.
And, yeah. all
Right.
this kind of crazy shit, man. And I think that's really most of the problem. And then of course, him saying he wanted to kill a black man is gonna throw everybody up in arms because it's a white man who said it. And he was walking around with a crowbar. He was being emotional and not being logical in his thoughts, and then this was the result. Walking around with a crowbar saying you want to kill a black person.
Yeah.
Acting off emotion, which is what everybody else is doing in response to the emotion. And this is the fucking cycle that people put ourselves through.
Yeah. And this is what, 30 years ago when that has happened, right?
Yeah, this was a long time ago.
And his justification was, well, I'm not racing more, so it's okay. Here's the thing. Because I was a fan. I don't want to say I was a fan. I don't even know if I am or not. Like, I wasn't never huge on Liam Neeson, you know, with all his, 12 Taken movies. But with me admiring somebody, like, I feel like he should have just, and it sounds stupid, but I truly mean this. Why would you say that? Like, why would you even bring that up?
Yeah.
At this point, it's 2019. You know what kind of climate we're in. You're not stupid.
Exactly.
Like, why bring this up? Why?
I could attribute it to one thing, in that we are in a new age. We're in the age of Aquarius, which is the age of discovery. There are no secrets spiritually anymore. And I feel like this could be a result of that coming out. It's like everything that everybody had, all kinds of dirty laundry that people have, is just going to start coming out.
Yeah, that's very true, especially with the media, social media being so prevalent in everyone's life.
Like, people don't know.
This isn't even something he said on social media, though. This is just something that he said, like an interview or something.
In an interview.
Yeah.
But it also travels way faster now with everyone having access to something.
Yeah, it'll spread in a matter of seconds, but
yeah,
I mean, social media has been prevalent for 10 or 15 years.
Like, I can see if he was like, hey, I beat up a man, whatever. But if you had racism on your mind at one point in your life, which I feel like everyone has at some point, if not multiple. So why bring that up? Like, you're killing the rest of your Taken series, the rest of your 30
among other movies.
Why are you doing that? There's no reason for that. The climate we're in is gonna chastise you for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And people still act like they don't fucking understand what the fuck is going on. Like,
with him being a white guy as well. You can't say that kind of shit, man.
Like, I mean, it's not like I'm saying like, hey, cover it up. It's just like, dude, you had a racist thought. It was fucked up what you did, and this was going on with people. This was wrong with people today. This is on the kid that shot up the church in South Carolina. He went online and searched something about Barack Obama and fucking shot up a church because somebody said, like, one of the sites said Barack Obama was racist, which also was a KKK site. Like, come on, man. Like, dude.
Yeah. Well, people are fucking stupid, man.
This is what's wrong with people now. It's just like somebody does something to you or someone you love, and you chastise. Like with women, I can't say I understand, but when a woman gets sexually abused by an uncle, or that's just like a stereotypical position is uncle. But you know what I mean by another man is, and then they hate men for the rest of their life, and they're lesbian. That is. I'm not going to say I understand it because it's never, I don't know. I've never been in those shoes, but that looking on the outside, that's somewhat understandable. Get it. But like when something happens to you where you're like, oh, I hate all black people, or I hate all, Hispanics, or I hate all white people, or this or that, or redheads, whatever. Like, dude, come on. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Like
Yeah. It's too much. It's an extreme.
It's just low intelligence is what it is.
Yeah, man.
It
Absolutely.
is. And now and the funny thing is, it's another fucking celebrity doing this, and older celebrity too at that. Like,
yeah, he's what,
up
in his
there,
50s or 60s? Yeah, he might be in his 60s now.
Like
late 50s or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, he's up there.
People don't know when to shut the fuck up. They don't. That's the whole thing. Like,
very true.
He was on a press run for taking 9 or whatever. Like, dude, like, you're going to risk all of this by mentioning a thought you had 30, 40 years ago. It's not necessary. It's not.
But you know why he said it was because it involved rape. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It involved, all this feminism shit that we were talking about earlier in the podcast.
Yeah, very true.
But then he countered that with targeting.
Exactly. It
was not necessary.
It wasn't necessary at all. But it's just funny how that whole statement worked.
He could have just worded it differently. Like.
All he had to do was say, I never want to kill somebody so bad in my life.
Yeah.
That's all he got to fucking say.
That's it. That's all there is to it, man.
But instead, he says, I just wanted to kill any nigger I can get my hands on. Like, the equivalent to that. Like,
yeah.
Like, come on.
Man, the dude said, he literally said, he stood outside of a bar and waited for someone black. He used the word black bastard, by the way. He was waiting for somebody black to approach him or to look at him the wrong way or something.
Yep.
Like,
yep. All right. Like, when you say that, you've gone too far. No matter whether you thought it or not, just the fact that you said it. Yeah. Now you're a fucking dumbass.
Thoughts and speech are very different.
Because the way I see it, you're gonna get yours anyway after this life anyway. And you can call it God, you can call it whatever the hell you want to call it. But
of course,
you're gonna get yours if you're a shitty person anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't stress over shit like this, honestly. I don't stress over this racism shit. And it pays because I don't have these type of crazy ass interactions that these people be having. Because I don't lead with that. I don't create that for myself to then come up on. Now, granted, I've been profiled and shit, but hold on, Corn. Yeah. Granted, I've been profiled and shit like that. I mean, I'm black. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm gonna get profiled. And my girlfriend's white, so that automatically niggas getting looks. You feel me?
Yeah.
Everywhere I go.
Well, any interracial relationship's gonna get looks though.
Yeah, that's true. But especially now, man, it wasn't the same. I mean, Corn, how many years we've been dating other races of women since we were dating. Period. This ain't this ain't something that I've been started doing, because I saw it on Get Out last year, and I was like, oh, let me try to white. You know what I mean?
Kids seem to be doing that. I'll give it a try.
If you started dating white people after that movie, you want to get out.
You need to get out.
Like, this is nothing new. Like, now it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Now it's a huge issue. Now it's being pushed in movies and shit. And the same people who don't like the gay shit also don't like the interracial dating shit. They're lumping them in together when it really that's just making a whole lot of shit worse because they're completely different things.
There's a lot of people that live with hate in their heart, man. I mean, it's
Oh, girl.
That's true.
Hate has never been more thriving. Hate's
You're
here to
right.
stay.
And the people, what's funny is some of the proponents of anti-hate are also haters. So, riddle me that one, you know?
Absolutely.
That's
many
a
people-
slippery slope. That's a slippery slope.
It is a slippery
It is,
slope.
but like, there's so many people
I'm not
on there who are defending things that also are preaching hate in their own way. They're out here trying to defend certain aspects of their lives, but they come across as just pricks about it. I've seen every side of it, man.
Again, we can't. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was done. I think.
Okay, what are you saying?
Again, we can't live in a world where people just live openly. Like I'm not saying like everybody do this exactly what they want, but we could like just have opinionated feelings and live your life the way you want it. Don't try and push your life on someone else.
Right.
You know, like that. It's so. And like you said earlier, Jan, like I don't personally get offended by this, but what I do feel some type of way when shit like this happens, especially with the Jussie Smollett thing, it's like when something, you got to think, when something like that happens, whether somebody is a celebrity or not, this stuff really happens.
Yeah.
People know someone who has been assaulted. It doesn't have to be raped, assaulted or mistreated in some shape or form by someone, and their only motive is one characteristic of the perpetrator or of the I don't want to use suspect, but yeah, like of the person that did something to him, of the attacker.
Yeah.
And then they go out. They might not go out and run around with a crowbar and looking for people, but they might say, "Oh, I hate this person, or I hate that person." Just a couple months ago, a black dude pulled up to a gas station and his music was loud. And here in Florida, of course, and a white dude shot him because his music was too loud.
Jeez,
At a gas station, in plain sight.
Oh,
Like I don't take what the celebrity does personally, like when all these stories come out, but it's just like it fucks it up for the rest of the people.
For everybody else.
Yeah, for everybody else.
Because that's the influence. That's the negative influencing part of this whole thing. Is that it crazy as it sounds, it makes people kind of want to go ahead and act out on that shit. You know.
And the more and more that happens, the closer we get to.
And it just feeds itself. It feeds itself. It feeds itself.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The more and more that happens, though, you get closer and closer to a purge type apocalypse situation, man. It's getting scarier. Like I would living out here now, or honestly, you know, anywhere you live, nowhere is really safe from insane people. No, but like you just, I literally watch my back at all times. I wouldn't be like even trying to drive with my music bumping or anything even remotely that could be considered obnoxious, because I'm thinking people might fucking snap, people might pull a gun out, you know. So it's like that's another reason why
I'm about my music loud, because I've always done that since I've been able to drive, and I can do that. Like,
that's your right, and maybe I should be a little less cautious sometimes. But I don't know. I just feel like why risk it, because I don't really want to anyway.
Yeah, I don't tend to want to live in that, and you know, any real amount of fear at all. Because all that does is just hold me back. I understand that, but I'm saying, I don't know. Right. I just think it's all in how you treat people at the end of the day.
I'm always aware of my surroundings, but I'm never scared. If that makes sense.
That's exactly what I was trying to say, but couldn't say it.
I'm not super cautious, but I look
very
around.
Aware.
Yeah, I'm never like, you know, I'm just.
No, I don't get like that either. I
Yeah.
prepare myself for the worst, but hope for the best. You know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it also comes down to your mindset too, like how positive you are, how you see the world. I just know how some people are. I got out of a situation living with crazy people, so it's well, let's not. But you know, it's just
the haunting of the roommate.
Yeah. So yeah, bottom line, some people are crazy and they scar others. So let's leave it at that.
Well, speaking of hauntings, don't you have some paranormal You have a paranormal topic you want to talk about real quick?
I mean, yeah, we can wrap it up with that on a lighter note. Yeah, so I wanted to bring this up a few episodes ago, where we mentioned life on other planets. Did we mention that? I think we did.
Yeah, briefly in one podcast. I can't remember which one.
Yeah, I wanted to get into a little bit to supernatural things, like what you guys actually think might exist. Because, growing up, you go to haunted houses, you read about Loch Ness Monster and stuff. I think it'd be really cool if some of these things were real. I mean, granted, it kind of clashes with religious views sometimes.
Well, hold on. Before you get it, I would say supernatural and folklore are two different. Like Loch Ness Monster is more folklore. Supernatural is more like, trapped spirits and that kind of stuff.
That's true. What now?
What's that?
Sasquatch is real.
I can't hear you, man.
Say Sasquatch is real?
Yes, Sasquatch is real.
So there you go. It's the same thing as Loch Ness Monster, because they're real places you can actually go to. I mean, the Loch Ness Lake is real. So it just comes down to what's fun enough for you to believe in. Because I love all kinds of fiction, horror movies, and some things like Corn. That game we played, Until Dawn. What was that monster in that?
I forgot what
Wabba something. Wendigo. That's like another one of those creatures. The game series The Witcher covers a lot of folklore creatures and stuff. From gnomes to tree goblins and weird things, like a lot of Slovakian folklore. And I don't really believe in all that stuff, but as far as spirits and certain things you can't explain, I think it'd be pretty cool if some of that stuff was real. Because everybody's different. We all see things a little bit differently, and some of us are more creative than others. So I mean, you guys Corn just said Sasquatch is real. Jared, do you ever think about any of that kind of stuff?
I think that probably like some form of ghosts or spirits or like trapped souls and things like that are definitely real. Also believe in I don't know how to describe it, but things like succubi, succubus women. I think that those things do exist, and I think you can actually even learn to summon those things and tap into those things.
Bro, did you know
if you study certain witchcrafts and things like that?
I learned there's the male version of the succubus. You know what it's called?
No.
It's called an incubus.
Succubus.
No. It's called an incubus. I learned that on.
Oh yeah. Just like the band, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I know that was a thing.
Back and also speaking on like supernatural and paranormal and all these other things. Junior year, was it junior year or sophomore year? Sophomore year, Halloween. Me and a bunch of friends went to this haunted house. We were told there's a haunted house and like an abandoned house over behind the Spring Hill Apartments. So we went trotting over there. Me and a few people. Shout out to I don't even remember who was there. Oh, shout out to Xavier Henderson, Okoye RP, one of the Santor dudes. But it was like 8 or 9 of us. It went to a haunted house and an abandoned house, and it actually turned out to be like pretty haunted. Like we saw some shit in there that was fucking creepy, man. Like some of it I remember, some of it I don't. But it was like different. There was like a mattress in there. And the mattress was like moving. It wasn't like a rat or deal. You could tell it was like a rat or something like that. But like mattresses were moving. Like all kinds of shit was moving in that house. And so we ran out. And then some old man was chasing us, man. Off of there was a house with a porch light on. It looks just like out of like a cabin of woods type house. And the guy came chasing. He was literally sprinting towards us and chasing us. I'm like yelling at us. Yeah, with the gun, by the way.
Oh, shit.
We ran down, and I've told you this before.
I ran down. Yeah, I did.
And we ran down the hill, and, oh, man, we told everybody at school the next week. But, man, that shit was scary as hell, man. Like, absolutely. That shit was so crazy. But we never went back to that house. But they went back the next year, and they said that, like, not the same thing happened, but they said that it was even more movement in the house. Like, lights were flickering on and off, and that house had been abandoned for, like, decades. And like lights flipping on and off, little dolls were moving and shit like that. Like just Jussie shit was like moving like shit. That's not even. Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
Like I don't believe in like ghosts necessarily, but I do believe in spirits. And
absolutely. Well, yeah.
That shit fucking like, I don't believe in like ghosts like boo, you know. I believe in like spirits like, hey, leave me alone. Or if you're in a certain house or you're in a certain area, like you're on their territory, they will fuck with you. And I do believe that. Like,
and I think even goes so deep as they'll fuck with you depending on what kind of energy you bring to the house.
Yeah, man.
You know, like if it's a lot of negative energy in the place, they might pop out then, but they might not pop out, you know, when there's positive energy, or vice versa. You know what I mean?
And you know go ahead.
I never think it gets to the extreme that some of those old shows like fucking Ghost Hunters would exaggerate. I don't think it ever comes to that, because like some of them, maybe not Ghost Hunters, but some of the knockoff shows were just lying their asses off for views. Like they would drop a nail on the floor. What was that? Oh! And like people were saying, the ghost touched me, and just shit like that. And it's like, no, you're just making an awful show for views, you know. So I mean, I think people will probably exaggerate that kind of stuff. Just it gets back to what we were talking about before. But I think the idea of supernatural things like that existing, which and you can get into even grander scope like other planets, just the idea of those kind of things. You bear in mind we'll probably never know in our lifetimes. But I think it's just cool because that's the kind of stuff that inspires me to make fiction. That's the kind of stuff that really drives me, because reality gets boring, bro, especially when there's so much hate in the world. I need a good piece of fiction to inspire me to draw and like create, because the fucking world's not doing it, you know. So that's why I like supernatural stuff.
Absolutely, man. And I mean, look at Western State is haunted. The old Stanton prison up there across from Walmart.
Yeah,
that place is haunted. There was a video.
The DeJarnette.
Yeah, like back in 2010, 3 people. Actually, I think it was 2011. Actually, it was like right before the graduate. But 3 people made a video. They weren't even from Stanton. They made a video, posted on YouTube, and it was up for like 3 days, and it got taken down. Right. And this is way back before YouTube started taking down videos, like openly. Yeah. That video got taken down 3 days afterwards. And I mean, look at the origin story of when a kid has an imaginary friend. That came from an actual kid. I think it was in the UK, I want to say, where a little girl, she had a quote unquote imaginary friend, but it was actually a demon in the house. Another kid that was killed, that was hung in the house, or hanged, however you want to say it.
I say
that's crazy. I just saw a movie with that same premise on Netflix. I can't remember the name of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, let me know the name of that movie, because I like stories like that. But
yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, but that's actually where the origin of imaginary friend came from.
I actually didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
I haven't watched a good horror movie in a long time. I think it's about time I did. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to dig in my horror bag back in the day.
Oh yeah, you're an aficionado. I think it's the term for it. You're always
aficionado.
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 Yeah, bro, you're an anaconda about that shit.
And anaconda about something else too.
All right. I knew you were going to.
He's single, by the way, ladies. My man Corn is single, by the way.
I am too. Anyways.
Man, well, any final words?
No, I think that was a pretty good spot for me. Everyone out there, stay beautiful and ugly. We love you and hate you. Just kidding. All right.
We just got
love everybody. Listen to the podcast. We like the podcast.
Yeah. Also, to the people on Instagram, I am going to be uploading a wrestling episode of my podcast here pretty soon.
Wordsky.
Be on the lookout for that. Shadow Bundles at Shadow Bundles.
Whenever me and Corn get together again, we're gonna get back on with Jimmy from last time and talk about Marvel in greater detail, as well as something else. What was the other thing? We'll figure it out.
But yeah, we are going to be talking a lot about the MCU, so stay tuned for that. Whenever I get down there to Adam, right? Sometimes I'm like super busy right now trying to get ready for training and all this other stuff.
Of course.
And,
absolutely.
We all got lives trying to get together.
Yeah.
Me too.
And be on the lookout. I don't have much going on in the way of that, but be on the lookout for a podcast with my woman. We're going to be talking about relationships and dating and interracial dating and everything in between. So we're gonna get on that relationship thing too. I know y'all people like that. So
And
That's
we'll
a nice
also,
follow up to our second episode. We'll follow up that one.
yeah, and we'll also have another episode with my bro Connor. He wasn't able to make it this week because he's at a concert, but he will be on our show pretty soon at some point.
We got another buddy. Go,
a lot to talk about as well. Yeah, he digs into the same stuff we do, so it's going to be a really fun. So.
Yes, we've had many literal 4 and 5 a.m. conversations. Standing outside in the freezing cold, multiple times talking about the same stuff we talk about. So you guys are really going to enjoy Connor.
Yeah, Connor's a trip, and we got one other guest coming. Our best friend from back home in VA, where Jaron is, Clint. He's great on politics speech, and he can definitely chime in with some of the political correctness we talk about. So
and he'll be able to talk about motivation and following your goals and things like that as well. So
Clint's a super positive guy. He's all about making you feel good. So yeah, that'll be one of the happy episodes. But yeah. Yeah, so we got things in the works, guys. Just keep on watching. We'll keep on doing
it.
Absolutely. And on that note, contemporary comrades, signing out. Check us before we sign out. Check us out, SoundCloud.com/contemporary comrades. YouTube page is up. I will be uploading videos on the YouTube page very soon. We just got that.
Okay, nice.
Honestly, I made it and kind of forgot about it, but now that our SoundCloud jumping off, we need to get the YouTube presence up too. So YouTube
we can do the Skypes
soon.
on that. We can do the actual Skype videos on that.
Well,
we probably could, but we'll see.
Yeah, why not? All right, y'all. Well,
all right, man. Contemporary comrades signing out. Thanks for listening.
Later, y'all.
Peace.